pineapple juice, and Jolly Ranchers. So it has a nice. That's where you get that green flavor, that sour apple type. But oh my! But the mixing is where it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's made by Twisted.
Oh, that's yeah.
There you
Look her up on IG. Twisted Mixes. Right? It's TWISTEDMIXEX. Matter of fact, if you buy something, she gonna give. Just mention Unleashed. I think she might take like 10% off. Try it out. Great. I'm not just saying this because she's a friend of mine. I actually believe in the product.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, this bottle was full about half an hour ago.
Yeah, we kind of punished it.
Yeah, so we punished it a little
midway.
I think somebody punished it. I ain't had a sip yet. I had a little
You're
bit.
drinking water, bro.
Okay.
You can't handle yours. We all for those who went to school in UNI, they know what you're working with, bro.
Ooh.
And the next one is the Dream.
Yes.
This is basically a wine sangria, and it's called Fully Loaded. And this has amaretto is one of my favorites.
Yes, it is. It's fully loaded.
It's
good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. So we're taking double. Ms. Jones and I have double cups here, so we got a little bit of both, and they're both spectacular.
I hear you. Shout out to Mr. William Brown. Everybody know Willie. He went to Howard, but Willie Brown
Really?
knows more people.
Why'd you say he went to Howard? Like
He did. I mean, I got him on. He always a frequent watcher, so I always want to shout him out. So shout out to Willie. Plus, he know a million people, and he can tell a million people to watch this. Marketing is something that Roman never had. Shout out to Karen King de Leon. Karen, I see you out there. She's the second best realtor next to me. Like, nah, that's my girl right there. Karen do her thing. Miss Shockley, how you doing, Lisa?
Lee, Snooky.
Hi, Snooky.
I'm gonna say Lisa. I'm gonna leave it right there. Hey, Lisa.
That's my home girl from Philly.
Oh, Philly. We got Philly in the house.
We got Philly in the house.
Now, she from Philly or?
She's from Philly.
Oh, cool. She ever make it to DMV?
Of course.
Oh, okay. We got to meet Lisa or Snooky when she comes.
That's right.
Got you. So thanks. Make sure you check out our sponsors at Sangria Wine, plus my girl Twisted Mixes on IG. Or just be a fan of the show. Since let us know. Always contact us. Numbers will be coming through. But thanks for joining us as always. Today we got a real tight show because, and I hope we get some callers coming in. So I'm gonna shout the number out so you can call. But it's a lot of things about what's going on. We usually start with a fact of the day, and I'm not gonna tell you the fact of the day, but by the time I finish the story, everyone would know what I'm talking about. So I came out with something. And I said, hey, this is what we're gonna do today. I said, so let's assume that Roman has an STD. Okay.
Whoa, hold on, bro. We didn't practice this. What you talking about?
Dog, I didn't say you had an STD. I said we're going to assume. Pretend.
Assume.
I can only say pretend.
Why can't you say? Why can't you say? Let's assume. I see had an STD.
I'm sorry. It must be personal or something over here. So what we're going to do is I want not just Roman. I want people out there I want everybody in the audience. I want y'all to all think about a friend.
A friend.
Friend.
A tall, very tall friend.
All right. That has an STD. STD is a sexually transmitted disease.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and this person is obviously trying to get some help going on.
Mm-hmm.
So he really can't go to the family physician if he's married or this and that because he might feel that it might be somebody might tell or whatever. And this friend could be a female, so I don't want to say from a male side as well.
Right.
Okay. So this person goes to the, how we look for stuff today. We look on the internet. Looks at the internet, finds a guy that's in his county, that's sponsored by the United States government, and he's a specialist in what this sexual transmitted disease is. This guy didn't think he hit the trifecta. You know what I'm saying? So he goes to make an appointment, makes him go with him, and meets with the doctor. Doctor's telling him, yeah, this is what we're doing. We do this and this. I think we can have a good shot at catching what this is. And I'm deliberately not tell you. But we can get a shot at getting it together, make everything cool. You should be fine, not a problem. And a matter of fact, because we're having this special here, we're going to help you out with the part of your treatment, okay? So whatever we was going to charge, I'm going to charge you half, okay?
Oh, so I'm going to still get charged.
Yeah, but you getting charged half, bro.
Yeah.
Half price.
Okay.
So, so now treatment has been started. What y'all don't know is this doctor has a side job. His side job is him and some people from work. Mm-hmm. They have a grant they was trying to do. They was trying to find out. They was trying to do a study on the cases of this STD. Mm-hmm. What's the effects of it if you don't get treated for it? What would happen long term? Mm-hmm. And so they had came this up, and they was like, "Hey, we need some volunteers to do this," but because of the nature of what it is, no one volunteered. You know what I'm saying? And so you might say, "How would so this guy came in? So this is the sponsored by the government. This is what gets me. So this disease doctor now is a specialist, and instead of treating this guy, these patients become his guinea pigs. Okay, unbeknownst to them. Okay, no paperwork signed, no one looking over the shoulder seeing what's going on. They did this among themselves, backed by the United States government, by you. Okay, and then they said, boom, this is what we're gonna study these people for the long term effects. We don't care. Not saying we don't care, but if it's 2, 3 a month, a year, we looking for the long decades down the road. And this is how long this program lasted.
So
right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so imagine finding out 40 years later due to a whistleblower, by the way, not because they had a guilty conscience like we got to tell. This experiment I'm talking about is the Tuskegee experiment. This is exactly what they did, the government did to black men living in Tuskegee in 1932. Over 600 men were bamboozled. Hoodwinked. Good word. Your vocabulary is astounding.
I don't know if hoodwink is.
Let me not laugh. This is a serious subject. And so this is what the Tuskegee experiment was all about. A lot of people got up in arms about it because you have a disease that is treatable by penicillin. They refused to give the subjects penicillin. So therefore, they knew they were sending these people home, not getting cured. They gave them what is called a placebo. Anybody familiar with what a placebo is? Mm-hmm. A placebo is like a sugar pill, water pill, something that does no effect. But the body, they don't tell the subject that it's a placebo, and sometimes they try to, so that the brain, you're trying to trick the brain. You feel like you're getting better or what things, but it was nothing actually getting better. Mm-hmm. And these men were studied for 40 plus years until the whistleblower blew the whole thing on it. And this was a Tuskegee experiment, over 600 men. And the reason they picked Tuskegee, I was always curious about that. Like they trying to say that only black men get this sexual transmitted disease. The disease, by the way, was syphilis. Mm-hmm. And so what happened was, the guy that came with the doctor, he wanted to do get like I'm losing my track of word, but basically what he was trying to get a group of people to volunteer for a study and then watch them for the long-term effects of this disease. Even when the cure came available, they did not give them to the subjects. And only because of a whistleblower was this whole operation blown over. Nobody was ever compensated for it as well. Okay, so therefore they sent these people home to go be with their wives, girlfriend, or whatever, their family members, and infecting them, cross-infecting them. Right. And this happened for 40 years. So I'm just saying this is some of the reasons why some people choose not to believe the government, especially when it comes to health care. Now, if it was one of your grandfathers or something like that, with that, and this is the same person, same government, 40 years later got a vaccine for you on a different subject. Would you take it? I'm not saying the vaccine good or bad. For those that don't know, I took my vaccine. I'm shot. I got
now we're transitioning to COVID, right?
Yeah, that's
vaccination, whether if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Okay.
I was going to come right into that.
Okay, go ahead.
So, at the same time, I just wanted people to give some people some background information of what the Tuskegee experiment, coming from a story standpoint. Okay, it's not. Please look that up. Very, very serious. And this is just one incidence of where the government has done to my people, African Americans, some stuff that makes you just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Every week I might just tell you about one of those instances. Today is the Tuskegee experiment. So you can see why a lot of people distrust the government.
And why they may not want to take the vaccine.
Right, because as we know, again, people going to say, I feel this, that. People.
I see the connection there.
You got it?
I got it.
Well, since you're here, but I know, Ms. Jones, you're healthcare. I'm gonna lean on you on this one. Like I said, I do have a vaccine. I chose the vaccine for a whole different reason because I figured they was gonna stop airline travel if you wasn't vaccinated.
Right.
And much of my business, 40% of my business at least comes from out of state. So I'm always on the plane, and I didn't want to come give something to my father, who's also going through a whole host of family changes and thing. So yeah, I sold out for the money on that, but I got my shot. I couldn't afford not to. But I for one, I didn't want to take the shot. I heard you talking to somebody recently, and it was like, getting them facts of reasoning, and I was like, man, I'm kind of with the non-vaccinated. I'm not, and I hope everybody does get vaccinated, but I can see why those who don't take the shot haven't taken the shot.
Yeah.
As Roman coughing all over the room and whatnot. Lord.
And by the way,
Hopefully you got the shot.
we're all vaccinated, so that's why we're together. But anyway, my take and my input on this whole thing with the Tuskegee thing, I truly understand, people's reasonings, but I also say that was like how many years ago? And those scientists that created that whatever they was doing, they were
about 50 years. 1932 is my math, probably a little bit
so
longer.
1932.
About 80 years ago.
Okay, 80 years ago, and it's
numbers a little off.
right, and it's 2021, and we have black scientists now. We have a black female scientist. I think a lot of people are not aware. It's a black female that helped invented the Pfizer vaccine. So, our mindset, I get it. A lot of people scared of, experimenting and not trusting the government. But this virus, is taking people out left and right. Now we have the Delta variant. And the cases are going up extremely. As y'all know, I don't know, today on the news, they just announced that Montgomery County is at 12 midnight.
Oh, for those that know, because this is a national show, Montgomery County is a county in the Washington, D.C. area.
Yes, in the Washington, D.C. area. They're doing the mask mandate. So it's going to, and I hate to say it, it's going to probably be another serious shutdown. If you look at the global map, according to the Center of Disease Control,
CDC.
most of the United States is covered in, almost 50% of the United States is covered in red of high cases, and that's due to the COVID, the Delta variant.
Wow.
So it's and I also want to educate people on this too, because I hear a lot of people saying, well, you get vaccinated. Yes, you can still get COVID. Yes, you can. But the difference between unvaccinated and vaccinated people is you can catch COVID if you're vaccinated, but you're not in a ventilator and possibly chances of dying, versus someone who's not vaccinated at all. Their chances of, being on the ventilator is high, very high.
Right. I just think, but that's for those who trust the the numbers. They say they distrust the government, so they don't trust the government. They don't care about the numbers at all.
And they can keep on.
Right.
I mean, like I said, me, I don't play Russian roulette with my life. Last year was just turmoil for me. I've witnessed people that I know personally die from COVID-19.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Co-workers, family members.
Right.
So, I'm not, that's just something, my experience, but as far as the government and not trusting vaccines, it's a little hypocritical, I may say, from some people, because unless you have cancer or some type of illness that may cause you from, getting the vaccine, those who just don't want to take it because they just have all these answers, why do you take medicine for headache? Why do you trust over-the-counter medicine? Why do you take prescription medication? It's no. Everything has side effects.
Right.
Just like the COVID vaccine, side effects, you have still take medicine over the counter. You still trust your doctors and scientists who created NyQuil and all these other things.
But I think it's the track record. If Bayer has been around for 150 years and then no one's really OD'd off of Bayer, then I feel safe as taking. I'm not just giving you.
I'm about to say because people have overdosed. Matter of fact, somebody had overdosed over Benadryl when they did an autopsy.
Right.
But I'm saying it's still side effects. Whatever medicine you get, you read the back of that label, you see side effects. So you're taking a risk regardless. regardless. It's not, but I understand, the experiments, and a lot of people, and I'm just speaking of people of color that I know that still just won't do it. And even if their job requires it, they're like, oh, I'll just find another job. But you have family members around you that had COVID and you saw them suffer. So I'm a little.
I got you on the side of caution. Nothing wrong with that at all.
I'm a little confused with that. Yeah.
Right.
So
what say you, Mister?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What say you?
So from my perspective,
oh Lord, you know this is a 90-minute show, right?
I mean, your little soliloquy that you just had open up is so.
Oh man, go man.
Yeah,
go,
exactly.
Go.
So I get I get the hesitation from the black community. I get it because I was very adamant I wasn't going to get the shot when they originally came out.
Okay.
Just for the same reasons that you described. The Tuskegee experiment was the first thing that came to my mind when this vaccination was being pushed down our throat. Why are you laughing?
You know that's the first time you heard Tuskegee when I mentioned it.
This is a serious.
It is a serious. But I went to school. I went to school with Roman. I was in school with this guy. I know we. Anyway, please go ahead.
All right. Since I learned about the Tuskegee experiment just 10 minutes ago.
Beautifully through Carlton, by the way.
Anyway, and I'm not. My major was in history like Carlton's, but I know enough about the history in the medical field and scientists where something similar to the Tuskegee experiment. And there's a laundry list of these kind of examples where the government. Not just the government. Yeah, exactly, the government. So there's a famous doctor. I forget, his name escapes me right now, but he has a statue in Manhattan, New York.
Okay.
Where he invented this not a cure, but the painkiller to when folks have surgery and it puts them to sleep. So he was considered a very brilliant doctor, and people really thought highly of him. So they built a statue of him. But what people don't know about this guy is before he got to that medication, he used enslaved black women to test as test subjects. And what he, just like the Tuskegee experiment, he would not give them what he thought was going to ultimately reduce the pain when he was trying to perform some form of surgery.
I heard this. I know you. Her name escapes you. The doctor's name escapes me.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah. So the women he was doing this experiment with were in such excruciating pain. He had other doctors holding these women down while he was, causing all this pain, inflicting so much pain against them or on them. And it got to the point where those doctors, all white men, they couldn't take it anymore. They couldn't sit there or stand there watching another human being go through so much pain and suffering. So they stopped participating. So they went out and got other black slaves, other black men, black slave men to come and hold this woman down or women down while he continued with his testing.
Right. I mean, using this as guinea pigs. I mean, they've done that. I mean, the history just goes on and on.
Yep. So we have a long list, laundry list of examples how this government has screwed us over as black people. I get that.
Great.
And I was in that same position, the same mindset that I did not want to take the vaccine. However, when I really started doing my own little research and ultimately decided to help me decide whether or not I want to take this vaccination, I realized all of these two examples that we were talking about, these were all white men bamboozling us, hoodwinking us, convincing us to take part of these experiments.
They wasn't going to listen to the Indian or the Hispanic or the other people that was over here. Yeah.
And to your point, the government played a major role in that. So with COVID, if you fast forward to this century, to this year, COVID, the vaccination for COVID, it's like Ms. Jones said, Pfizer, it was a black woman, a sister, a scientist who helped develop and create COVID. When I look on television to hearing the quote unquote experts, again, doctors and scientists, very unscientific test here, but I'm guesstimating about 30% of those people look like me and sound like me. They're all African Americans. So then on top of that, for those of us who admire and appreciate Obama, our former president, he too looked like me, sound like me. And he's endorsed it. Matter of fact, he actually took his shots on TV.
No one's saying that I'm not saying that the people who don't take it are bad. I'm not saying that at all. It's a whole lot of smart people that have not took it.
No, I'm not talking about taking it. I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not talking about who took it.
Bad
no. I'm telling.
He didn't say it was bad. But the way his story was coming across,
my story. Let me be clear.
I got it.
My story is not about whether who took it or didn't took it. My story is about the people we have trusted. This is how you presented it. The people we have trusted in the past took advantage of us, and all those people look like they were white.
Right.
They were.
Now it's
Today,
2021.
those same people, 2021.
Different.
I'm guesstimating 30% are black that are now trying to convince us to take it. Right. So that's what.
And they're scientists.
And they're scientists.
So
they're in the medical industry.
They're in the medical industry. They're creators of drugs and stuff like that. So I get what you're saying, Carlton. Like that is fact. That's a known fact. What happened, but that was way back.
I got you. But I think your math is a little wrong. And this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
We're 13% of the population. But we're 30% of the black scientists?
No, that's not what I'm saying. No. You're not paying attention to what I'm saying.
I'm just numbers.
No. But listen.
I think that we have
before
black
you
scientists.
get to your number. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying this is a very unscientific poll. What I'm saying is the people I'm hearing on television, articles I'm reading, are 30% from black people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying 30% of scientists or 30% of medical doctors are black. There's a difference.
Oh, that's way difference. I don't see, out of 10 people on stage, I don't see 3 blacks. I don't. I see one if I see one.
What? On what stage?
On when Fauci is talking or whatever.
Okay, and that's fair. But
I know it's fair.
No, but I work in the science industry. Okay, so I work in the...
I just want the numbers to be correct. Only time 13% of the population leads anything is the rate of incarceration.
They're not leading. I said 30%, not 51%.
But the rate of incarceration among black men, we are the number one.
Right, exactly.
But we 13% of the population.
Right. That's a different story.
Right.
What I'm telling you is
that's the only time. That's like hitting the lottery every year. You know what I'm saying? But we get it. We number one to going to jail.
But my point is though, 30% irrelevant. At the end of the day, is black people out here that are putting out the message that this thing is safe. And on top of that...
Hold on. I got a call. Somebody's desperately trying to call in. If you want to call in to have a conversation, if you want to piggyback on in, Willie Brown, I see you, sir. I'm about to put the number out for you. You should have my number already, Willie. You called me 2 weeks ago. Area code 480-200-9570. Again, 480-200-9570. Come on, call on in. Tell us what you got to say. And we'll get it. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Roman.
No worries. So all I'm saying is if you're going to do your research, all I'm saying, do your research.
Research.
Don't do it on Facebook.
Again,
I'm sorry.
Don't
Stay off
do
social
it
media.
on TikTok.
480-200-9570. Oh, we got a caller coming in here.
All right. Well, hold on. So and on top of that, there's a science the other day who deals with vaccines and pandemics and stuff like that. He specifically said with medication, there hasn't been a vaccination ever created
where I work,
where we don't
Hold
know.
on. Let Roman finish his part.
Where we don't know whether or not what the long-term effects are of any vaccination after 6 weeks.
Okay, we got Mr. Willie Brown on the line. Mr. Willie Brown he's been blowing my phone. Talk to me, Willie. You seem like you have something to add to this conversation. You said something like, "Do I know where you work at?"
Yeah. Well, yeah, Carl, I've known you and Roma for years since Springbrook days.
Whoa. Yeah, too much info.
What's up,
Okay,
Willie?
wait. All right. But a lot of people don't know what I do. I do the real estate thing. I was an accountant, but I do work for the federal government. As a matter of fact, I work for the National Institutes of Health. And the statements that I have to preface this before I say it. The statements that I am making are not that of the National Institutes of Health or the Department of Health and Human Services.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, when you mention the Tuskegee experiment, I think there's a little bit of history that a lot of people are failing that they didn't get. Basically when the jig was up, when they found out that these African American men and women were not being treated, because it was the men, it was their wives, girlfriends. They were infected by syphilis as well, and they couldn't get treated.
Right.
What ended up happening was an individual, it was during World War II, it was during the 1940s, that one of the participants in the experiment actually was not a resident of Tuskegee. They went out of state to join the military. And during his military physical, they knew that he had syphilis, and they needed soldiers so badly, they treated him with penicillin, and he was ready to go off to war.
Right.
That's when the jig was up. In the 1960s and 1950s, early 1960s, when Congress found out about the experiment and they were having hearings.
Yeah, that was like 72.
Right, and it went all the way to 72. It was like maybe 10 years of hearings about this. It would go on and off. By that time, they had ceased the experiment in the United States, and they moved it to El Salvador.
I didn't know that.
So it was still going on up until the 80s.
That's crazy. So what he said, after it ended here, it went to another country. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it went to another country.
Right.
And so that, then they had to deal with that as well. Now, we're talking about COVID. Now, here's where I have to bring some insight about the research that's going on with COVID. Now, let me preface that before this. When we're talking about individuals who are being used as, guinea pigs or experiments, a lot of people don't realize that the United States military provides more subjects for experimentation than any Tuskegee experiment or anything that could have happened. There are many drugs that are tested on soldiers first before they are administered to the general public. So a lot of people don't realize that. Like there were many drugs that were administered to soldiers before the first Persian Gulf War.
But with that in mind though, they no longer do it like they did in Tuskegee.
But they're not
they're not forced to. They're told. You know what I'm saying?
They're not forced.
They're signed off.
I know people in the military that mention that, and they're not forced.
Right. So it's not like
they're not forced to do it. No. But if you're going into combat, you are. If they're saying, you never know, because it could necessarily be, yes, one of the medications was a anti-nerve gas agent that basically they're saying was the cause of Gulf War sickness.
Okay. So you
like some people had allergic reactions to it. Now,
hold on, Willie. I got.
Sorry.
We got paid bills. We got paid bills. What Willie is saying, I'm gonna speed it up for you, and I appreciate you calling, brother, for real. What he's talking about. That's always been a history of the United States government. They have tested on soldiers. They sometimes, they test on other individuals. They still continue to test today for a whole range of drugs. And so that's not the unusual part. The United States, we saying the government has been in bed with this operation for operations like that for a while.
So Willie, real quick, are you for the vaccine?
You work for the government.
Or are you against that? Doesn't necessarily.
Well, yeah, I'm for the vaccine because you all are seeing Dr. Fauci on television. That's the only face that you're seeing. Because he's the director of NIAID. But as a matter of fact, the two issues that COVID affects, which are basically it's a pulmonary disease, it's heart and lung. The director of the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute is a brother. They went to Morehouse, went to Meharry Medical School, so they're receiving the brunt of the work and the research on on COVID. And Kasima, who was the scientist that you're referencing at NIH who helped develop the COVID vaccine, there's another sister that you know, Carlton. I'm not going to put her on blast, but she is basically keeping up with she's heading up the statistical analysis of COVID right now in the U.S.
So you said I know her from like the Howard days? Is that what you said?
Yeah, brother.
Okay.
Sure do.
So Willie,
but let me just end it off like this. I know you guys got to pay bills. Everything is about the dollar. I'm gonna end it off like this. One of the things that I don't like, and I know I might get in trouble for saying this, but I'm just gonna say it. One of the vaccines has proven ineffective, and I know that you probably can make an inference. One of the vaccines has been proven ineffective on the Delta variant, and our government is not saying anything about it. And they're saying, oh, we're going to come out with the booster and this, that, and the other. But it's even getting to the point where they're telling people that have been vaccinated.
Yeah,
that's important stuff, dude. Let me finish. Yeah. That's important stuff.
No, because the Johnson & Johnson.
Right, but that's what's going on.
Well, you said it, I didn't.
I don't want to get to us.
See, I always was suspicious with a one-dose thing, the way they came out with it so quick like that. That's just with the Johnson & Johnson.
Right.
I was suspicious about, I'm not going to trust the company after they've hidden for 40 years that baby powder, that baby powder causes cancer.
That baby powder causes
I've seen, you know how many texts I've seen a girl in the summertime. That's like you always see that, especially walking through the city, you always see people with baby powder on back in the 70s, 80s. That was normal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Willie, I want to appreciate you calling for that.
Thank you, Willie.
Good hearing you, brother Willie. Good hearing from you.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Hopefully, Lord willing, we'll be able to get together and connect soon. God bless.
We say party at your house, right? My man.
Yes, sir.
All right, Willie. Talk to you.
All right.
But yeah. So I'm sorry, bro. I'm not thinking on.
No. Yeah. Willie basically kind of helped make my point. He mentioned about 3 or 4 brothers and sisters who are a part of a cure process. Not the cure, but the solution.
I see you, Mr. Charles. So Ratchet Entertainment out here. Y'all getting some love from
Charles. Who's Charles?
That's my buddy from Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
So Ratchet, y'all. Check that out.
What's up, Charles?
But Philip Myers. What's up, Phil? Phil.
White boy Phil.
I'm just going to hit it on this
White boy
note.
Phil.
Go ahead, Miss Jones.
Just do your research. That's all. Stop listening to, people. Just do your research. Do your research.
Yeah, because I respect everyone.
Still wear your mask, please.
Absolutely. Well, I respect people. I mean, I know there's a few women who...
Keep 12 feet away from me if you're not vaccinated.
He said 12.
Well, I know people who... I understand the women who are skeptical because apparently... And I don't know the answer to this, but there's some concern with the reproduction process with some of these vaccinations. So, so that can, my understanding is one or some of these can cause reproduction issues.
Yeah,
so.
it's just that you don't know. Some things you just don't know. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
well, can I say just one more thing on this? Because, I was asked from some of my staff, they asked me, because when I got vaccinated, what happened? Because I heard that this person had blood clot and died, and I'm like, okay. I got my shot. My arm was sore, and I was sleepy.
Yeah, I think I had the same symptoms.
That was it. Mm-hmm. So I tell everybody, stop listening to other people. You don't know if the person that had the blood clot already had underlying health issues. We don't know. Right. We don't even know if the vaccine even did that to that person. Exactly. So that's why I just said, just do your research. Please do your research.
Right. As we move on past this one, unless you had something to say on that.
Nah, I was about to ready to transition.
Oh, go for it. I'm sure you prepared and all this stuff. Stop calling me backpack. Nice hat, by the way. Can we give a shout? I don't know if the camera can go in there.
You wear the nicest hat.
Don't tell him that. He has a nice hat.
No, he got several now.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Carlton's been hating on me since we were 13, so I'm used to it.
If you take that hat off, you might lose that. You know I mean,
I got it for my size. It can't fit your big head.
Yeah, he might cope that one. I get that one. It's a nice hat.
All right, guys.
Oh, there you go. We got the best producer. Anybody out
here?
Bada
boom.
Oh,
anybody trying to get onto a podcast or want to do some studio work? I have the world's best place, the Underground Lab.
And so does Siobhan and Roman. We have.
So, come on down to the Underground Lab.
Him, like he just belongs.
I know everything in the background. So go ahead. Let me get Roman. Go, Roman, please.
All right.
Thanks,
so
Will.
we just came off a very, very serious conversation. So now I want to take it to another serious conversation.
Go for it.
This is something that has been near and dear to my heart for years, forever. Right? I'm in my.
You know how you drag a story out? That's you.
Look who's talking. I'm in my early 50s, and I have a ton of friends, a ton of mainly male friends who have partake in selling drugs.
Did you just say selling drugs?
Hustling.
Okay.
You know the term, right?
Right. I ain't know you was
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hustling.
We going on this subject. Go ahead. This gonna be good. Y'all gonna want to call in on this one. Go
Yeah,
for it.
because I'm curious, right? So, throughout the history of hustling, at least that I'm aware of, I got the folks, the men who wanted to do it, young kids who wanted to do it because they're stuck in poverty. They have no choice. So you got to figure out a way to feed yourself, your family, your kids, whatever. And to a certain degree, yes, I get that. But the ones that I always had trouble understanding are the ones who lived in suburbs, who didn't live in poverty, who lived, in some cases, many cases, two-parent household, lived in single-family homes.
Middle class. Nice
Yeah.
nice neighborhoods.
And had no reason, at least from my perspective, I don't know all the stories, but had no reason to sell drugs. And this is personal to me because I lost a brother who was in the game.
Shout out
drugs.
Evans.
Shout out to my
R.I.P.
brother.
baby.
Exactly. That's my brother. My one brother right after me. He sold drugs. My parents owned a home.
I think you need to. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
To put a little context on it. His brother is my best friend. Was my best friend. He's probably been dead 20, 25 years by now.
27 years in December.
Yeah, 27. Like a brother to me. That's why Roman's here, because we all like brothers.
Well, the crazy thing, you met him because of me.
That's another story.
Yeah.
It's personal to me too, because
Well-
I think he's describing me on the other side.
Well, hold on. Let me finish my
Go
thought.
ahead. Go ahead.
Finish
Yeah,
your story.
let
I
me
wanna
finish
hear
my
this.
thought. So I remember when I learned my brother was selling drugs, it was after he got arrested the first time. And, of course, I gave him a tongue lashing as an older brother.
You're 1 year older.
A year and a half. And, and no, but my point was, he eventually, after catching the case, he eventually went to court, got 4 years. He served 1 year. I helped him get a job in corporate America. Evans was the most charismatic character you probably will ever meet in your life. He was destined for success in corporate America. He was doing an amazing job. All the big wigs loved him. But he got frustrated because he wasn't able to get paid every day. He had to work every other week to get paid. So he went right back into selling drugs, ultimately quit, and then got killed. He's a perfect example to my question of why he felt that necessary to go into a short-lived profession. And the crazy thing is I was doing some research before coming on today from the FBI. They say the average drug dealer, the average street drug dealer, only makes about $21,000 a year. $21,000. Now, granted, it's all tax free. I get it, but $21,000 a year.
You can't just throw out a figure like that. You got to encompass the whole thing. Tell them what that fact means. Tell them where they get that 21,000. That's adding up all the money they have made, dividing it by how many years they spend in jail and for legal fees.
No,
blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
talking about a year. A year. You're reading too much. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for you. A year. That's what they earn a year selling drugs.
I've been with your brother when he made that twice that money one day.
I
What
didn't
you
say
saying?
evens. I said the average. Again, your active listening skills will help. So I said the average drug dealer. It's the FBI statistic makes an average of $21,000 a year. So My question is,
go ahead.
I don't think you're talking about ones that pull weight like.
I'm not talking about big wig. I'm talking about
big
that.
wig.
Exactly.
You're saying average.
Average.
Okay. I got it.
So, but you got it right. That's what active listening skill. You were a good student in school.
I'm just so we still in the same story. Can we debate now? I'm ready to get
I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm ready. I
okay.
just wanted to make sure I laid the groundwork. Help me understand
Siobhan,
why suburban dudes.
You said it.
Why suburban dudes find it necessary
Siobhan,
to sell drugs.
I know you've been quiet, waiting patiently like me. Lord knows, okay?
No, go.
You
take
sure?
it. Yeah, go.
I always believe in ladies first.
No,
That's why I
no,
let Roman speak
no,
first.
Go for it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right.
I'll chime in here and then go ahead.
Wow. Okay, let me stop. One, I didn't even know you was gonna talk about this subject, but it's cool. I feel like I'm ready to go get you on this. First, just everything. Roman paints this picture of this rosy. My brother. I rolled everybody with it out there. His brother didn't even like Roman.
Oh.
Roman was the goody guy. It was don't tell my brother. See, don't tell my brother what we doing. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? It was hide everything. You know what I'm saying? Before he got brave enough to bring the cars home, he was parking it around the corner. But I mean, he was making so much money. It wasn't the fact that your job was paying him what he was paying. The amount of money your brother was making and others just like him was huge. And it's not that the fact that we wasn't smart enough not to know what we was doing.
You're saying that. Did I say that? Don't put word in my mouth.
It's the fact that everybody, and the fact, out of 10 people that hung around us, 6 of them hustled. 6.
It might even be higher.
Right.
It might even be more.
Right. And that's for every crew that it's thousands of crew in this, everybody who be in the DMV, which is District, Maryland, Virginia. Most people we hung out hustled. We ain't doing it as a bad as a hunt. The money was fun. I mean, you didn't have to know what you was doing to make $1,000 a week. This in the 80s. You got 12-year-olds putting $2,000-$3,000 a day.
But how many people have we lost caught them for $1,000 a week?
Right, but we didn't know that at the time. At the time, we just started.
Are you serious, dude?
We lost one here, one there, but by the time it rounded up,
You said one here, one there? Are you kidding me?
I'm saying in the beginning, you didn't get desperate immediately when you started.
Dude, before y'all decided to go into your little venture, they had you hadn't known that about the gangster life or drug dealing life.
But that's youth. You always think
No,
you're
it's
smart.
not just me, bro. It's not just me.
We thought we was smart. We ain't gonna do. We seen Scarface, but we wanted to change the last scene.
Yeah,
That's
but-
what we did. So we said he's tripping. He had all that coke over there. I'm gonna have this little bit over here and have my mind focused. That's how we think. We think we can rewrite the last frame of that movie and change things.
But
we now know as a plan is bigger than that when the game was rigged from the beginning. We know that now. We didn't know the game was rigged. We might have thought it, but we didn't know it wasn't a lot of.
Dude, there were plenty of hustlers before y'all.
Most stuff.
That ended similarly.
But we started the crack thing. That's 85, 86. That's our generation. We did that. My father and them didn't do that. They didn't know about crack and they didn't know about cocaine. But this crack was a different element.
But I still don't understand.
I understand.
So, Ms. Jones, go with before.
No. I'm thinking. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question. When you got him in corporate, started working in corporate, was he already in the game? Like, was he already?
Yeah,
doing?
he had already been arrested, spent time, and then he promised to change his life around.
Okay, so could that have been just like the waiting 2 weeks for a paycheck might have just kind of like, nah, I'm not used to this. I'm used to getting.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, but
That's
you
exactly
seem
what it
shocked
was.
by that.
I seem shocked.
Yeah, he went for the money.
Dude.
Plus the lifestyle. That's
Yeah,
what
the lifestyle.
The lifestyle itself is, oh my God. And I was a horrible hustler. Let it be known. I was terrible at hustling. You know what I'm saying? It was I've had other jobs that were much easier that I made more money from. Hustling was hard. Because I had your brother though, your brother my best friend, I ain't have to hustle. He a millionaire. He made me feel like a millionaire because I got whatever I wanted. See, take this. See, take the Beamer for today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the little hoopty. I'm gonna take your car. I remember one time your brother switched cars with me. I had a little hoopty, right? Mm-hmm. He had the 650 Beamer. You know what I'm saying? So he had met this young lady, Beamer, was supposed to take her out that night. I came through the house to give him something. He's like, hey, take the Beamer. Let me take your car. Okay, I ain't gonna ask twice. He said, I want to see if she likes me for me or if she likes me for the car. Mm-hmm. And he went to go drive over there in my car. She went to where's that nice car I met you in? And he's like, oh, that was Carlton's car. You know what I'm saying? She went back, oh, I can't go out with that. You know, what Carlton do? switch just like that. You know what I'm saying? What's he do? You know what I'm saying? So it was the money, the lifestyle. Hanging around your brother is, and I knew the risk.
But the risk outweighed. You couldn't have outweighed the ultimate.
Well, I don't think you understand some of the times me and your brother had.
I do understand. I've had some great times with my brother too. I have some incredibly painful arguments and going back and forth about this conversation with my brother as well.
Right. I'm saying I'm a child.
My brother's not at the end of the day, there's nothing you can tell me to justify.
I ain't saying it justifies it. I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
I just say I don't think you understand
I don't. I won't. I never will. I lost a brother. I won't.
Right. I'm trying to explain. I know you won't. I mean, you don't comprehend anyway. You know what I'm saying? Roman's really been there's nothing on his brother.
Hopefully somebody to save Carlton from this.
Hold on, y'all. Go ahead.
So at the end of the day, Ms. Jones, have you ever experienced, or do you know anybody who, from a female's perspective, who may have enabled a behavior from a male drug dealer?
Hello?
Yes, I do know someone. This person is no longer here either. Women, it's a little harder for me to see women fall in that lifestyle versus men.
You said it's a lot harder? I'm sorry.
It's a lot harder.
Okay.
And even if they are users as well, it's it's not a good look. Horrible experience. You know, I will speak for my sister, my older sister. May she rest in peace. Yeah, she was with a drug dealer.
I think those years took many. I mean, it's and I can count for me and Roman know so many people have died just from. I mean, if you just pick a year from 88 up to you know what I'm saying to the end of the century, I mean, just the amount of people. I mean, it's not one or two. It's not John died and Billy.
Right.
We can go about months, and we'll mention 10, 12 names, not repeat one. And he'll know the same 10 or 12, and others that I didn't. Oh, I forgot about, dude. You know, saying it was that many people doing that. Add that to jail. Oh my. Add that on some type of probation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
It's rough.
yeah. I wanted to get on here.
caller?
Y'all blowing people up here. Philip Myers says rest in PE.
White boy Phil.
He says society is infatuated with gangsters, and they are.
Yep.
I put a post on Unleashed the other day. For those that haven't, go to Unleashed on Facebook page. Even if we're not Facebook, find us Unleashed. Check us out. But I asked, dude, should Hollywood be blamed for some of the movies that we were? I know I saw Scarface. I was done. I know. I'm not a stupid guy. So for me, to Roman used to cheat off my pay. What was he saying?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Phil, 100%.
So
Ms. Jessica Dudley, she said it's a glamorous life when it comes to clothes, cars, etc. But the risk is not a lifestyle I want to be in. But I ain't gonna lie. I love a hustling man. See, I talked to you. Miss Jessica is.
Yeah, I know a bunch of women, Jessica, who said basically the same thing about my brother.
Yeah.
And here we are, 27 years later. I'm sure they don't even remember him.
Oh, some do.
Yeah,
Some in particular.
Well, what I would say about the whole movie comparison, I guess people watch movies and walk away with different messages. Because as much as I love Scarface and all the other gangster movies that, portrays drug dealing and being a gangster and all that good stuff, as much I enjoyed the movie, but I took it for pure entertainment. None of that ever made me want to go out and try to sell drugs. No movie has ever wanted me to make me want to go out and live a gangster lifestyle.
It's not the movie 100%, but it plays a part. We're like, damn, you think you're smart now. You think you can do it better.
What made me appreciate shows, if I can give them a shout out, The Wire, Snowfall,
That's my
is
junk
how
right there.
crooked the DEA and the FBI
The government, of course,
The
right?
government.
The same
Because
government
they
that
are
did
the
the
ones
Tuskegee
that-
experiment. That government.
Yeah, that government.
Okay.
That same government ain't no different, but that was something that's told us apples and oranges. We talk about drugs.
Right.
Them they the biggest dealers. That opened up my eyes.
somebody that's put a posed a question.
And even in the even in the movies back in the 70s, if you know me watching old movies back in the 70s, and you see the cops coming to the dealers and like, where's my cut? So me being young watching this, and I'm like, what he doing? He supposed to be a good guy.
Exactly.
So I appreciate some of these movies and shows like that.
It enlightens you.
Yeah.
One of the callers, Miss Jessica Dudley again, said, talking about it, she said she loves a hustling man. Now, I think hustling has took a change.
What does she mean by hustling? Because hustling can mean you got a job you're working, or are you talking about drug?
That's work. Their work ethic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what she's.
Yeah, that's what she.
Oh, my bad, then, Jessica.
Yeah, that's.
I thought you were talking about a street hustler, a drug dealer.
But could that hustler could that be part of what Jessica was saying too? He get his money. He hustled to do it.
Man, dude, it's a short-lived life.
I understand, but yet I know so many women that went after hustlers.
I do too, but I know so many women who didn't. What? I mean, I don't stand the comparison.
I'm saying you're looking from a side that we didn't have a chance to see. That we didn't see that side.
Oh, I call you bullshit on that. You did have a chance to see. You just chose not to see.
I got the after effects. So I got the ones that already did whatever they've done, and they are successful now. So those are the ones that I'm dealing with.
And
ones I've dealt with.
And there are very few of them.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
They're
not in that game no more, but I guess they took that money that they made and they started doing their own businesses, and that lifestyle is over with.
Right.
So
and that was the conversations I used to have with my brother Carlton.
Right there.
Getting out the game. I mean, my brother used to tell me about how he wanted to start several different businesses.
Right.
And he wanted me to help managing them.
Right.
Well, dude, when are you going to do it? Right. He had all these apartments in different women's names. Wow. I used to tell E, bruh, you know different than the average hustler. You know different than the average hustler who has a bunch of cars in a different woman's name.
But you're looking at it from now point of view.
No, I'm looking at it back then. When I wasn't hustling, I knew this. It was. And then after my brother died, you weren't around when I was having a conversation with the detectives. When they named everybody who was a part of Evans's crew.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all didn't know about it.
You
know what I'm saying? So y'all, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like y'all were fooling anybody. So all I'm saying is, bro, I know Evans was an incredibly smart, intelligent dude. You're an incredibly smart, intelligent dude. I'm not going to name everybody else that was in Evans' crew, but a lot of them are very close to me.
Right. I agree.
And to this day, I punish them all the time verbally to how they can make a decision to go do that when they know they didn't have to.
Because you got the time now, you know exactly.
Nah, nigga, you knew back then too.
We didn't know that, man. You was 20 years old. You 20 years, you think different. Then you do it 75.
No, I buy that.
I bet you do.
I buy that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but one thing I know I wasn't going to ever do is jeopardize my future, my life.
Roman,
for a short-lived life. For a short-lived life.
Truth, Roman, you wasn't gonna skip school either. You good. Roman's been a goody two shoe his whole life. I know it's a lot of things you won't do. Roman will not cross against the walk sign. If it says don't walk, Roman's not walking.
Now you know that's a lie.
So now all of a sudden we supposed to believe this. Selling drugs is wrong. I'm going this way.
See, but that's where you're wrong. Because I used to skip school, including with my brother. I used to be the one because I was able to write my own notes to get in and out of school.
Right. You
so I was able to do that.
We got caught coming back to school because we ain't had.
But I wasn't going to get killed.
Right. You did
for writing notes.
Right.
I wasn't going to jeopardize my future where I can't be employable because I was skipping school. Right? So I had this conversation with my brother. And ultimately I felt like I was getting in. I was penetrating that. Because every time he saw me, he's like, man, Rome, I promise you, I'm getting past this. I'm going to get out. I'm putting money aside. So as much money he even shared with me that he was making, I paid for my man's funeral. Right? None of his kids got none of that money.
Right.
So it was all for nothing, man.
I don't agree. Now we got that to look for. But
I'm saying now. He keeps saying now. Dude, y'all knew that crap that before.
All right. It's personal for you.
and again, going back to this movie thing.
Let's you cry over there. Somebody give a tissue or something. I forget out my bag. We should have kept it back on a friend.
And then going back to this movie thing, I think it's a cop out when we try to use Hollywood as an excuse to why we make our bad decisions.
I agree.
I agree. And it's very seldom things that you say I agree.
I agree with that.
You should have followed more.
But I got a question for Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones, if you don't mind, I know it's last minute, everything. But so I get this question now. That's why I feel I can roll with it now. You know what I'm saying? Quite a few people come on the thread and they see you from every week because you know they know you talk about and this and that. Would you, if a guy tried to holler at you, not now, I understand you have someone in your life, but if you were single and a hardworking guy tried to holler at you, he worked at the grocery store, per se. Didn't make a lot of money. Nice guy, though. You know what I'm saying? Treated you nice and did everything he could for you. Versus a guy that hustled or can take you and fly you anywhere you wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? But you can only choose the one. How many times would the guy at the grocery store win out of 10? Would he win 5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, or 0 out of 10?
At her age now or back then?
Yeah, back then or now. And actually, I actually had that happen to me.
Tell us.
So I was with a guy who was not working at all, and this was back then, not working at all, and he was just unmotivated to me. Loved him dearly, but didn't treat me pretty good. Then I just hung out, met a guy who was in that lifestyle. Was like, you want to go with me to Atlantic City? Let's go. Wow, because the one that I was with, he didn't want to go anywhere. He didn't want to do nothing. He just wanted to sit at home and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, yeah, let's go out. So this guy took me Atlantic City every other weekend.
That's in New Jersey for my people.
Yeah, back in the day, that's where we was hanging out. And then just taking me out to eat, taking me around his friends, showing me, like, I like that,
right.
You know? So
after the relationship with him, to fast forward, after the relationship with him, the guy, lets me know that the guy from the grocery store doesn't have a chance with you because now you're experiencing stuff that he damn sure don't know.
That's not true.
Oh, okay.
That's not true.
Speak on it.
The guy with the grocery store had a job. So therefore, he was able to show me that he can provide for himself. I don't care where you work at. We're speaking of me now. I don't care where you work at. It's how you treat me and how your character, how you are as a person. Now, I don't care, even same with the drug guy. Just because you selling drugs does not mean you're not a good person. I go by character. It's how you treat me. And, you know, that's what I go by. I go, how about how you treat me, how you treat women in general?
Right.
Because the guy that worked at the grocery store can be an asshole.
Shout out to Bird and William Brown.
If that answers the question.
It does.
But I'm not that, materialistic person. You just got to treat me good. I don't care where you work at. I don't care if you a janitor.
Jessica Deli said what she just said.
Hi, Jessica.
Jessica's my friend from Arizona. She just bought a house. Hold on.
Okay, Jessica.
I think she had the world's best realtor, Carlton.
Oh, Carlton.
Not.
Can we get back to my
I'm sorry.
thing, please? Thank you very much. Any more questions?
Yeah,
no. It's not, and that's another thing. When men see me or whatever, they till you get to know me, they're like, well, man, you're not stuck up. You're not this and that. Because people look at you and they already automatically put you in a box or a category. So don't just get to know me first.
So would you date a drug dealer today?
Today? No, not today.
Tell him keep walking.
Have you dated a drug dealer?
Yes, I told y'all that in the last show. Yes.
Roman doesn't.
I wasn't here the last show.
Oh, not the last show, but the shows.
Well, Roman doesn't listen anyway. Period.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
All right.
Yes, I have.
Great.
And he treated me good.
Right. Would you go to jail for him?
Back then, because we're not together now, so probably not.
Oh, okay.
Back then you would have though, huh?
But yeah, we was like Bonnie and Clyde, and he had my back, and yeah.
That's what that's called?
What's that?
Enabling.
Yeah, it is.
Lindo.
It is. It's enabling.
Willie Brown said.
But I got to be honest. I got to be honest.
Nails and hair done weekly. You know what I'm saying? Bills paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A good lifestyle to have,
But
right?
see, I get that done. Wait a minute, I get that done now.
Exactly.
Listen, I get that done now without the drug.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
So see, my dude, whatever I need, he just provides.
Yeah, that's my whole point.
it's
You
without the
can
drugs,
you can
though.
get that, but you have to work towards it. I think we're setting the wrong expectation to young kids who think this would be the easiest way. Because I'm telling you, I've been in corporate America and managing people for over 35 years. You know how many black men that were unhireable because they have been
Had records.
convicted of selling drugs?
Carlton, did you say something? Hold on, Carlton,
I'm just trying to look ahead.
did you say something?
What he saying? All right, for those, I don't really tell this story too much. I guess I'm dragged into it now.
I'm like, damn, see? I'm like, you telling me yourself,
dirty
bro.
laundry.
I got in trouble when I was a teenager yesterday, 19 or somewhere right there. Matter of fact, I was with your brother when I caught my felony. I caught it with your brother. But at the same time, yeah, I experienced it. It took me years to get past the felony. That's one reason why I opened my own business today, which I will always do. I think they should teach that in school. But before I got to that point, I've always had jobs. I got the jobs that had to, because back then it took a week for the background checks to come back. So at least I have a week paycheck in the bank. You know what I'm saying? And then, I'm sorry, Ms. Crawford. I got so used to getting escorted out through the back door or whatever.
Damn, bro.
But that's, Shelly Fritter. What's up, Shelly
Oh,
Fritter?
Shelly.
Like, whoa.
But you know how disappointed I am to hear that? Because we grew up together.
What do you mean disappointed? You know I took the charge with you. What do you mean disappointed?
What you mean with a
How disappointed you was at me?
Yeah, bro. That you
didn't
put
want
yourself
you
in that
involved.
situation, bro.
Right.
Like I gave you $20, I still ain't got it back.
You ain't never gonna get
And
that.
can I clarify one more thing? Nobody's just go out and search for a drug dealer.
Oh, you talking about as a woman?
Yeah, I mean, you just, you can meet somebody at a restaurant or something like that.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
I'm about to call that too, because
You told me yourself.
maybe not you, but no, they do.
No.
They do,
I'm just,
Miss
let me go
Jones.
search for a drug
that
dealer.
was Miss Jones last week. Was it? We was at a
What did I say?
we was in a meeting last week. We always have a meeting before the show. Our meeting last show, Miss Jones was sat right here where she was sitting at, where she's at, turning in the chair, and she said, I know people that were we call them what they call the hoes to be at the bar.
No, but that's not nothing to do with drug dealers. That's bar hoes. That's what guys call females that stay at the bars and just to meet men to have sex. Mm-hmm. That's not no drug dealer.
Okay.
See, you're trying to get me in something that ain't got.
No, but I was gonna call bullshit on it, not for you
No,
personally. I'm talking
right.
about I know women who
No, I mean
specifically.
there are some that probably just specifically, but I'm saying in my case,
Yeah, but
I wasn't just like, let me go look for some drug
let's
dealers.
be real, right? So a lot of dudes, to Carlton's point, they get caught up in that lifestyle and they want that specific woman. Mm-hmm. And if they meet a woman who may not say, I'm looking for a drug dealer, but you can't afford me, right? So to compete, some of these young kids, the only way I can afford is this woman, because somebody my age who's probably established, got some money in the bank, can afford that kind of personality or that kind of woman. But somebody in their early 20s haven't been established, haven't made them, haven't really realized who they are yet.
Too, though. Your mind, you're not the same person. I ain't the same person at 20 as I am
none of us
your
are.
age when I get
I
that.
wasn't the same
when I
person
get to
at
your
19.
age.
I'm like,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we are different, but my point is, though, we know better.
Yeah, we know better.
At this point, yeah.
No, we knew better back then.
Yeah, we knew better.
I'm not letting you off the
I
hook. Okay?
I did.
You
I agree. I knew right from wrong early on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
that's what I'm saying. So I don't want to hear society.
But you always think you think you're smarter than that. I'm gonna do better than where he messed up at.
Yeah, and
You know
don't
what
get
I'm
me wrong. Just like it's not just about drug dealing. 'Cause to your point, it's not just about drug dealing. It might be the man who's just gonna be
But look at
a
society.
cheater. He thinks he knows better. I'm gonna get away with cheating,
Well,
and
look
then
at
figure out ways to avoid making mistakes to get him caught.
But look at
I
the
get that
society.
part.
The movies that was out there, everybody has glamorized that lifestyle. So as a child growing up at 14, 15 years old and seeing all that type of stuff, you be like, man. I remember, as I said, first time I saw Blow, and I seen all the money he had in the room.
Blow was based on a true story.
Yeah, he just got out of jail, matter of fact. For those that know the Blow, go check out Blow. Very good movie.
But see,
very good.
I look at those examples. Every movie you mentioned, I loved them.
I'm sure.
They were entertainment, bro.
Right.
None of them inspired me.
But what do for you, does for you. What does for me is totally different.
Yeah, but what does for you ends you up being unemployable.
gonna get a job. I'm looking for a job in 30 years, my brother.
And I'm sincerely happy you're here right now talking to me.
Right.
It could be worse is that you make your dad.
But it's also taught me a hell of a lot. I don't think I would be where I would if I hadn't gone through some of those experiences.
Of course not. Everybody
like-
lives off their experience, but I wish you hadn't gone to those experiences.
But I'll tell you what. I'm tell you a little bit, then we'll jump off. All right. I ain't never spent a time in jail. I think I did a weekend in jail, if anything. Okay, a whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? With your brother. Okay. I played cards. That's all we did. We played spades. That's why nobody can handle me in spades. I'm having spades tournament. Anybody want to see me know how to fight?
Hey, Jerry Adore, will you please call in, please, and let him know?
Please.
Let the world know.
I played cards with this guy, Marcelo. He had 3 fingers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to the other 2, but he had 3. Okay. And he knew my whole card. I don't know if the cards are marked. He telling the whole deck, and he's telling you my whole hand. Yeah, you need to throw that 10 of spades. Huh? We ain't. How you know? But he was just so good at playing cards. You know what I'm saying?
He knew what you had for you.
But I learned from him in that weekend how to play. I play more than anybody play me. I do the same thing. My technique, which I'm not going to tell you, is
It's weak. I know that much.
Please, Roman, please. Hey, Mr. Producer, can we cut his mic down or something? Is that possible? I mean, this dude here, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I can't remember last time you beat me in spades. Which maybe you didn't learn enough when you were playing with just three.
We used to play at your house last year when I sold you your house.
Yeah, exactly. When we used to, and I whipped you and Jerry's
You kicked
butt.
me out the house. You said I've never been beating my own house. Get out. That's what you said.
Why are you fibbing to
Okay,
people?
well, do we still got some more time? Let's do a never have I ever.
Okay, so
explain the game, explain
our
it.
producer's telling us we got to wrap this up.
We gotta wrap it up.
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna-
Okay, we'll do that next week.
But anyway, also got a shout out to S Health Center. That's ESE Health Center. Check that out. She's matter of fact, I think she's on Instagram. If I had her card, I apologize. I'm gonna do one for her next week as well. But everyone, check out Twisted Mixes. That's what we're sipping on here. That's the Ciroc pineapple juice with Jolly Ranchers. She has so many different flavors. Check her out. Name is Reagan Manning. Hit her up on Instagram. Tell her Carlton sent you. Matter of fact, if you say UnLeashed, you can buy bottles. She has everything. She has different sizes, so check her out, okay? Also, our main one.
That's the main one right there.
Sangria, fully loaded. This is huckspirits.com. That's HUXSPIRITS.com. Out of Baltimore. There's sangria. I haven't had the other stuff, but the sangria I have like that.
I've had several flavors. They were delicious. They were awesome.
Miss Shockey has a question. She says, as a question, since you guys are mentoring movies, what about hardcore rap music? Influential or not? I say it is. That's another subject, but I would say it is.
Yeah, of course it adds. It's influential, but at the end of the day, I took it as entertainment. I never listened to NWA and
Never
wanted
cross
to.
the street against the light. What are you saying?
Dude, I'm not trying. Nothing is going to influence me to go outside of my character.
I understand. Mr.
And by the way, my
It
wife
depends on the
responded.
individual person.
Yeah, my
Depends
wife
on the
responded to Carlton's nonsense about beating me in spade. She was there laughing at you when we
She
beat you.
knows.
I know. She knows. That's why she didn't use a lie.
Whatever.
She said,
Whatever.
ladies and gentlemen, I think we got to go. Our producers tell us we on overtime.
I appreciate
And Carlton don't have the money to pay for it, so we're.
Exactly. They robbed me. They be practicing for the night.
Thank you for
That's how
joining
you
us
do
this
it.
week, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you. See you
See
next
you next week. Next Saturday at 6 o'clock. We had some technical difficulties, but 6 o'clock
Next Saturday,
next Thursday, bro.
Thursday.
okay.
Thursday.
I'm about to say,
time
damn.
again.
Hey,
Time
I
again.
appreciate all
6
y'all.
o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Appreciate y'all. Be easy.
Thanks. One love.
Peace. Thursday, bro.
Thursday. Time again. Time again.
Appreciate all
6
y'all.
o'clock.